Hello. That's Bonnie snoring if you can hear it. I'm gonna have to move and plug my phone in. It's about to die. Bonbon. Her eyes are wide open too. She ain't snoring. That's just how she breathes. Oh yeah, I got a new tattoo. You guys might not know about that. And Mia bit me. By accident. She wasn't being ferocious. It just, we were playing. And she bit me right on my cuticle. So it's bleeding. You guys, oh my God. This is probably going to come out like a big rambling ass mess. So just hang tight. There'll be a reason. Just hang tight with me, okay? If you're jumping on, say what's up so I know you're here. Yeah, this might be rambly. I'm just going to go after it. So some of y'all might remember that I've dealt with like sickness a lot in my life. At least 15 years of like constant nausea, right? I've made a couple of videos. I've written posts about it. My health, like struggling to gain weight and being so fucking sick all the time and how extravagantly horrible traveling was for me. And although a lot of you I met while I was bebopping around the United States, going to events. Anyway, when Mac got sick in October, I guess it was October, maybe it was September. I don't fucking remember right now, but we found out he had cancer. Well, it was in October. That's crazy. He died in November. My goodness. Anyway, whenever it was, I found out he had cancer and I got really sick really quickly from the flood of emotions and it was just horrible and I couldn't leave my bed for like 4.5 days, which I know that sounds dramatic, but if you're me or you're someone who knows me close, you realize that like I should have gone to the hospital. Like that's how drastically I wasn't able to eat or drink anything. Anyway, in that moment, I looked at Tony and I said to him, I'm finished dealing with this. Like, I'm fucking finished. And if you don't, because he had promised to call a doctor friend of his several times and then it didn't fall through. And I said, if you do not call him, I'm going to drive myself to the hospital and legit like I'll lay on the floor in the emergency room until somebody sees me and figures out what's wrong with me. I don't care what anybody has to say. And so he called the doctor. Needless to say, I went and seen him and we did some MRIs in my back and he sent me to a GI specialist. I did a bunch of shit and tests with him and all kinds of pleasant experiences if you've ever been getting tests at a GI doctor. Anyway, needless to say, everything came out normal and fine like it has in the past, but we were able to find something medication-wise that has given me relief from chronic nausea and stomach pain for the first time in over 15 years. So there's that. Like, I can eat breakfast. Like, I can eat my breakfast. It's crazy. That was not a thing ever in most of my life. So I fully, wholeheartedly believe that one of, obviously I was given many gifts and joys of having Mac as my baby. And I also believe that that was like the last thing that he did for me. And he taught me how to slow down because of that, his diagnosis and having to deal with that, I was able to get a diagnosis and got well and was able to be with him and take care of him, right? Now, please, again, like I said, this is going to be rambling. I haven't known how to tell you guys all of this shit. And I've just been sitting here thinking about it. And I'm like, we're just going to go live and just let it out and see what happens. So here we are. Like, just hang with me. It's good. Or I don't know. You'll pull something out of it, I'm sure. Some sort of nugget of goodness, I'm sure. But anyway, so I'm going to try not to cry while we're talking about this. But I was able to get well so I could take care of him. And taking care of him meant more to me than anything else and having fun with him. And so as a result, I slowed down in ways that I had been trying to slow down for years. And then I let myself grieve when he died. And I did that for a few months. Needless to say, so as of having those symptoms for so long, it was very difficult for me to eat properly. And because of that, we would always like, they thought, oh, maybe your body just doesn't digest nutrients properly. Well, like, that's part of it, because there's a disconnect in the communication between my brain and the neurotransmitters in my stomach and my intestines. But I also was not able to consistently eat well, even when I was lifting. Like, anyway, it's just a whole deal. So we know, me and my doctor made an agreement, like, there's at least a 6-month plan of taking this medicine and eating really well and going back to the gym and trying to get back to any sort of normalcy. And let me just explain to you, when you have chronic symptoms for over 15 years and doctors and professionals basically have told you your whole life that you're doing something wrong and that's why you feel the way that you do, there's a load of crap that comes along with, first of all, not wanting to be a problem or trouble for other people because you're sick or you don't feel good or whatever. First of all, if you guys are commenting, I can't see it. So if I'm not acknowledging you, it's not intentional. So, like, a load of emotional, energetic, mental crap comes along with being told that you're doing something wrong to yourself your whole life, even though you're not. And having to reprogram your body to say, like, it's okay to eat breakfast. Like, you're not going to puke. Like, it's okay to have an apple. Like, you're not going to get sick. Like, apples are really high on the glycemic index, so they turn to sugar really quickly in your body. And so, like, those kinds of things I could not eat. Like, pasta, I couldn't eat. Like, anyway, it's okay to leave the house without a bag full of fucking, like, backup plans of food and things. Like, it's just a whole interesting experience because my world that I'm living in now is unlike anything I've ever experienced before. Now, add on to that. This is going to be like such TMI, you guys. But add on to that I have chronic pain. So, extreme back pain. Sometimes my knees, sometimes my hands, always my shoulders, always my back. I have to get my charger. Oh, hello, it's the dark. I'm in the dark. Holy shit, hold on. Anyway, geez, sorry. So, chronic pain, right? So, my doctor and I discussed maybe, just maybe, that is a secondary symptom to what I've, had to deal with. Sorry, I didn't think this through, you guys. I'm usually much more prepared than this. Anyway, so maybe that's a chronic symptom, right? Or part of like a secondary symptom to me being sick, right? Like not feeling good all the time. It's really dark right here, so hold on. I'm gonna give us some light so you can see me. All right, there we go. Anyway, so that was the goal, right? The plan was we're gonna not be nauseous for the first time and let the mind fuck that is not being nauseous after being nauseous most of your life, let's deal with that, which has been, something I'm grateful to deal with, and see what happens. Maybe the pain will go away. So I started back at the gym. I started doing, doing what I know and eating differently again because I can do that and all this good stuff, right? And something just told me, you need to ask for help with your back. I've had MRIs. Same doctor, Tony. I made Tony call. MRI. No real answers. It's just, I get it. People have their own lives and people only know what they know, but sometimes the medical industry, it's enough to make you bury your head in the sand and just dig in a hole and, deal with your consequences and not talk to doctors because it's not productive. Needless to say, I called a doctor that a family member had used that was very helpful for them. It's kind of it's a functional medicine clinic. And I went and I did the evaluation, not at all knowing what to expect, and left with no answers. And they were like, we're going to review all of this and we're going to talk to you on this day and you should bring a family member while we go over your results. And I'm like, okay. And they did x-rays and all kinds of things, right? Measured my ranges of motion and all that. Now, please keep in mind that not having nausea and trying to navigate that is brand new information for me, like brand new life. What is this thing, right? Whoa, brand new. Didn't know life could be this way. Now, for me to think that I could do life without back pain or like chronic pain, crazy, right? No way is that possible. I don't know. Whatever. We're going to go see this guy, fully expecting him to be like, sorry, I can't help you, because that's what everyone else has always said, right? Or they're like, you should probably go to the gym and strengthen the muscles. Again, it's always been something that's been my fault, apparently, previously, until Dr. Lang, who is Dr. Lehman and Dr. Lang were like, no, honey, this is not your fault. You were doing nothing wrong. And I was like, oh, thank God. And anyway, go see this doctor, go back and get my results. Yesterday? Today's Wednesday. Yeah, yesterday. Y'all, I'll post pictures if anyone's interested of my spine. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this, but you know, your spine, if you're looking at it straight on, like from the back or straight on, it should be like this for the most part. No, mine goes like this, and then it corrects over here, and then it corrects over here, and then it corrects over here, and then it corrects again over here. I'm not kidding you. 5 corrections. It looks like a zigzag, and I'm not exaggerating. I sent it to a few people who are like, hold the phone, tell me that is not your spine. And I'm like, it is. My spine is like a zigzag. A zigzag, my spine. How has no one found this? Mesmerizing. So I'm feeling a lot of complex emotions, you know, one of which being, how have I been dealing with pain for so long? And no one's ever figured this out before. Of course, I'm not going to dwell on that because now we know, and whatever. I'm going to let myself get real pissed off about it probably over the next couple of days so I can like process that emotion and move forward. Number 2, very scary. Very, very, very scary to see those images of my spine. Like, cause I mean, it's alarming, you guys, like how, it is a legitimate zigzag, which then of course is kinking and affecting nerves and communication throughout my body. All these things where I'm like, of course it is, duh. That's why my quads developed way more than my hamstrings, which made no sense considering that I was like a squatting monster. And anyway, now it makes sense because my hips don't sit right because my spine is a zigzag. And no, I don't have scoliosis. That's the other crazy part. The zigzag in my spine is legit from traumas, from injuries that started when I was in 2nd grade. I fell out of a moving vehicle when I was in 2nd grade. No, my parents weren't driving. No, they weren't neglecting me. It was a friend's mother. I fell out of a moving van and got whiplash. That was the first injury on my spine. And then there's a laundry list of other things that I was a very accident-prone kid, and then I was in car accidents and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, needless to say, my body corrected itself and then corrected itself, and, you know, we have this zigzag to my spine. So I have relief from 20 years of thinking I'm going to vomit 24/7 and all of the things that come with that. Like if you've ever been nauseous, if you've ever been pregnant. So I have a lot of friends who have morning sickness, and we discuss this, and like the feeling that they have when they're at their worst with morning sickness is how I was all day, every day, all the time. It's lovely. It was a lovely experience. So anyway, brand new, holy smokes, what is this new life without the nausea, right? And then now we have the potential, because this guy thinks, so cutest thing ever, I send the picture of my spine to my mom, who is like, what the hell is that? Oh my God, please call me. And I'm like, yeah, that's my spine. And I said, did you show Daddy? And she goes, yeah. I said, what did he say? He said, oh, wow, can they fix her? And I'm like, I thought that's what I'm thinking too, Dad. So anyway, this guy we have a plan. We have an action plan, and we believe that, or he believes that he can correct the majority of it. I'm very lucky that I I do not have any degenerate, I always say this wrong, degenerative damage. I have none of that. I have no damage to my discs that we can see. Like the bones are all whole. So that's a bonus because a lot of people with kinks in their spine have permanent damage to their discs and their vertebrae, and I do not. So praise Jesus or whoever you believe in for that. But I was just laying here thinking, and I thought to myself, what a crazy, crazy idea it is that by the summer, like when it gets real hot and crazy in Missouri, like people don't know this, but it gets hot here, like in the hundreds, super humid, disgusting. It is crazy. But by the summertime, there is a chance that I might have no nausea and no pain. What? Is this I'm trying not to get too excited because in my history over the last 20 years medically, I would get my hopes up and then I would get disappointed. So, super duper trying to not get excited, but also not trying to be a negative Nancy about it either. And just trying to be very real and quiet and cautious and like observant. That's what I've been doing since the nausea went away, is just being very observant about what's new, because everything's new. This is literally a brand new existence for me, which is why I have the ability to do this treatment with this doctor to try to fix my kinky zigzagged spine. I don't even know what to say. Thank you, Pam. I love you. It like a whole game changer. Like I have a 5-year healing period in front of me for my back to really, really get it to where it's not going to do this anymore. We have to correct everything and fix the scar tissue and all that. Like it's going to be a lengthy process, one that I'm like the best patient or client a person can ask for because I follow instruction really, really well when it comes to things like that. Like I respect professionals. If you tell me to do something a certain way, I'm going to do it. If you know better than me. So the other really funny thing I'm going to throw in there is that I invested in, so there's like a few things that have stressed me out about my life. 1 was being sick all the time. 2 was being in pain all the time. 3 was the fact that I constantly had razor burn no matter what I did. It didn't matter. Even when I was just waxing my legs for many years, I would always have discoloration, ugly pores. It was like huge and gross and nasty no matter what I did. I was constantly subconscious about that. And because I was so sick and I was trying to gain weight so I could be more healthy, I gained like 35 pounds, which I'm not mad about. Don't get me wrong. Not mad. So happy. And my body's just different. So there's all these things. And I started laser hair removal a couple months ago. It's like a game changer already. And I've only had a couple of treatments. So I sit here and think about the summer. I'm like, this is about to be a whole new life. And I have a pretty cool life. Even despite pain and nausea and sickness and all that bullshit, I have a pretty cool life. I'm about to take over the fucking world, you guys. If I continue to have no nausea, I don't have to deal with insecurities around my stupid skin being crazy, and I can get rid of this pain and start to be able to like, my physical body can function the way a normal, healthy physical body can function. Like you guys have seen what I've created. I'm not trying to be boastful here. I'm just being very blunt and honest. I've created a lot of really cool shit and built a really cool life for myself. Despite all that crap and all that hard stuff that I have to deal with and all of those different things I have to navigate. Like, if I'm finally getting answers to that and I'm going to get actual relief, like, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time grasping like what that might be because I also don't know. It's brand new information. So I'm going to tread lightly and I'm going to stay really curious. And that's my advice to you. If you find yourself in a new situation or you're wanting to get into a new situation, I suggest you're wanting your reality to be different. Slow down. Slow down. Step very intentionally and stay really curious about how you react, what you want to say, what you don't say, what you do say, what you do think, what you do feel, what you don't feel, all of the things. Be very curious. And that's how you shift. And that's how you stop. That's how you don't go back into patterns that you don't want anymore, is by slowing down, stepping intentionally, and being really, really curious. So like I told you at the beginning of this video, I knew I was just going to ramble a bunch of things out of my mouth, and I wasn't sure if any of them were going to make sense, but I've just been sitting here thinking about it for an hour and a half, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to just say the words to the people on the interwebs, because why not? But also because I have a hard time sometimes sharing some of this shit because I feel repetitive and I feel like it's annoying to me. It's easy to hide it. And I don't like to do that here. I don't like to do that. So I have a pretty intense schedule going on with this treatment plan, but my big boy Mac gave me all those gifts in life before he left us, and I have the space now to put the energy towards really figuring this out and healing it. That's the cool place. So if you guys are local and you have any issues like anything I'm saying, the place that I'm going is called the Wellness Connection. A Wellness Connection, I think. It's called A Wellness Connection. It's in O'Fallon. And they found the root. They're going to keep making sure that we're healing the root. Like every however many weeks, we're going to take new x-rays and see if my zigzaggy spine is going to go back to normal. So yeah, I mean, we're talking like 3 appointments a week, and I'm still going to see my massage therapist, and I just got a new personal trainer. So we're going to like I'm going to come at this with 4 different professionals and myself and Tony. And so I'm just bound and determined to fix it now that we know what's wrong. But it's crazy. Anybody who's interested in seeing these x-rays, message me. I'm not going to post them if you guys don't give a shit, but like, it's outrageous. Anyway, I'm done rambling. Is anybody ever like, have you ever had a Band-Aid on your finger that doesn't do that? I feel like no matter what, I look like a child, like a homeless child every time I put a Band-Aid on my finger. Like it turns into this, like it's shedding. It just, anyway, whatever. I swear I'm a professional adult that takes care of herself. I just got bit by my puppy while we were playing and it made me bleed. So anyways, I'll keep you all posted. I'll keep you posted more than I have about the journey. It's just sometimes, again, like I say, like it's complicated. There's a lot of layers involved because it's been such a long time that I've had to be so proactive and create such rigidity. Or I had to, I don't have to anymore, but I had to create such rigidity in order to survive. So yeah. Anyway, look at this. Look, even their logo is so cute. I love this place. I'm pretty excited. Anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. Uh-oh. I will chat with you, I'm sure, tomorrow. But anybody has any questions about the things that I was saying or any comments, feel free to message me or put them here and I'll get back to you guys later. But thank you for watching. Hope you have a great evening and get good night's sleep and drink lots of water. And I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.